everybody, and welcome to the Silent Hill Ascension pre-show. Eduardo here with Layla, and I'm going to throw it to Layla for the run-up show, but our shows are counted. I barely need one hand.
I know. What an incredible achievement here. But hey, everybody, production's going to throw up the run of show. And I'll tell you know what time it is. It's 5:40 p.m. Pacific. That means you're here with me and Eduardo for a pre-show. In about 20 minutes at 6 p.m. Pacific, Silent Hill Ascension is going to start ramping up to its conclusion of its canon run, which is crazy that that's happening this week. And then afterwards, you're going to come back to me and Eduardo, so we will see you this week on Monday, which is today, and Wednesday, which will be Wednesday, and you will have some Silent Hill Ascension Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Please join us for the finale on Wednesday and that'll be the end of the canon run, and you know, we'll say our emotional, beautiful goodbyes, and well, they're not really goodbyes, they're see you soons. But in the meantime, Eduardo, could you please talk us through what Ascension is?
Yes, so I'm actually going to keep it brief for this last one. Silent Hill Ascension was you. It's you, the audience, that have made it and shaped it and created that canon story. Every single day, puzzles endure, and your decisions have shaped what it is. There's not much more I can tell you on that. What we're going to do is we're going to throw it to the setup scene, because I want you to look at one of the decisions you made, so to speak, because we have Astrid, we have Hagen, and that's, you know, where they decide if their relationship has a future or not. And after that setup scene, we're going to break down the story as we head towards the end. Now, production, please play it.
They need you. I love you, Astrid. How can I... Go.
Mama! Orson!
Go! I'll be fine here.
Welcome back. Again, short and sweet setup scene. Now we're going to show what the iconic scene of the week is going to be a little harder to rewatch, because what else could we pick but Sins of the Father, where Eric confronts the mistakes in his past in the other world one last time. Production's going to put that up as we talk about the story. And I do apologize about picking that scene, but you got to admit it was really the one from last week that was the most memorable.
Yeah, certainly so. Eric's been with us for, I mean, the entire show, right? Eric is one of the OGs, as it were. And we saw him meet his end, and apparently we're delaying seeing his end again for now, because we have our one of our decisions up. But that's production saving you all, I think.
Yeah, protecting you from seeing... To be fair, Toby doing dirty on Eric there, like... we were looking at the iconic scene of the week, but again, to kind of recap how it worked, right? Eric met a similar end to Toby, right? A little, I think, more gruesome. Let's be frank about what happened. But a similar end, right? Redemption with death.
Yes, certainly. Trauma Toby, brain manifestation Toby, sure did get a good hook in there, you know, really gave him a little what for with he punched him in real life at first, and then got to choke him a little bit just to get the point across, you know, in the whatever that state of existence is. You know, if that's Eric's life flashing before his eyes, you know, an unfortunate life to see before.
Yeah.
Though I can't say he's the only one that would be seeing his life flash before his eyes in a dive bar.
Yeah, I know. I mean, for me as well, the moment where essentially you had Faith looking over her father, really traumatizing. Because Eric, if anything else, wanted to be a good father, couldn't really do it. Well, tried to, right? And the daughter disapproved.
Yeah, quite. I think disapproved. Back in my old days, when I was an RA at my university, I think the most powerful tool I had at my disposal was disappointment and disapproval. So if my residents did something, I was never mad, but I was disappointed. I think that's beyond. I think that's the next step up from disapproval. I think she's entered like the rage zone, and ended her papa as such.
Yeah, you know, she has new papa, Collector, right? Oh, good. We got papa number 2 taking care of good old Faith.
Dad, some people think the Collector is. If you catch my drift, I think some people. We've had. Chat, I saw you. We've had Daddy Immolator on there. I think I've also seen a couple Daddy Collectors.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of mommy Layla's too, but that's an aside. There is a mother, though, that is alive in our show. Now, that's Rachel. And again, she has to deal with a dead character. That's the decision that's closing this day. And that's going to appear on your screen. Production put it up already, so gets to put it up once again. Thank you, production, for saving us from seeing Eric's demise. But this is it, Layla, if you could walk us through it.
So for real this time, how will Rachel react to Joy's accusation of murder? Once again, it is a fate decision, but the choices are unscrambled. So I had to save the world. I was led astray by lies, or evil acted through me. Which one's which? Who's to say?
I mean,
have at it.
We'll have at it. But to be fair, and we'll look at the past choices the audience made last week in our post show, but a lot of you have gotten your redemption radars up, so to speak. Like, you know, it got hidden, we got a lot of suffering and damnation, and then the audience was like, oh, now we play that guessing game. What's the redemption option? And then you kind of narrowed it on it. Like, some of them were not actually that easy, especially some of those final fate choices. In the end, Eric's ended up being redemption, but like that was a very late take. Essentially being his own person, right? Not going with Rachel's plan was the key to redemption.
That's true. I think with Eric as my queen of the 2000s, JoJo's once said, it's just a little too late. That's what it was. It was too little too late for Eric. Because even though he hit the redemption path, listen, I don't know how much warning the victims, because just knowing the full scope of his story now, buddy boy, there was a lot of stuff you could have done before, trying to pull out at the very last second there, of all the machinations you've been involved in, and apologizing to your dead friend post-mortem is I don't know how I felt about all that for Mr. Eric. Just from human to human, just as a sympathetic figure.
No, for sure. Now, the question with this decision is, do you believe Rachel has sympathy towards Joy or not with this choice?
Not if she killed her. Like a sympathetic killing, that would be a lot.
Sympathetic to Xavier's killing, but that's a different. I'm external to that.
Kill him out of sympathy. Like, no. Yeah, there's a mercy kill. You can mercy kill somebody, right? Like if they're bleeding out on a battlefield and there's no way you're getting them home. You can do them if they're asking you to. You can do them that favor of that. I don't know why that's the example that came to my head. I guess I'm playing too much Fallout is the problem. This a sympathy killing. Can I get a card instead? I know they're expensive nowadays.
Somebody was talking about Rachel's going to use that insurance money to get herself a fancy new glass eye. That's that's a way to get it done too. But that's not part of the plot, really. Like, we'll look at our story so far in Pennsylvania. I don't think glass eye insurance fraud was part of it, but let's look it up on the screen. Production's going to put it up. Lila, can you see that or anything else?
Well, I think I can. Glass eye insurance fraud, by the way, copywriting that, name of my new band. So in Pennsylvania, Rachel learns that the Heralds could have been right about everything. Rachel goes to the Foundation searching for Krista, but encounters someone she wasn't expecting. Why am I reading back and forth conversation both? Now you know what our teleprompter says. I'm so used to there being 2 slots. There's only one this time, Eduardo.
I tried. Give me a... It's all good. Like, to be fair, audience has eyes. They can read. They can figure it out. See, unlike Rachel, most of our audience should have 2 eyes, which is great and fantastic because you don't read these dark books. But here's the... Yeah. A lot of what... I mean, basically... and we're going to go through this because we're going to go through both stories, right? It's like the stories are mirroring each other. You got the mother, you got the child, and you got kind of the wacky protagonist that are left, right? We got here in Pennsylvania, we got Rachel, we got Faith, and we got Krista.
Wacky?
So like...
Is that okay? Krista's, when you say wacky protagonist, I'm not... Continue.
I guess it's a trope. I don't know. Like, I was thinking of Hogan and Astrid, like, Astrid, Hagrid, and Orson. There's got to be something with that. Like, there's got to be something. I'm sure the audience can find a good name for me with like the band.
I guess if we're talking relative, then they are relative to Rachel and Astrid. Haugen and Krista, I guess, are like the odd one out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But they help things, right? Like, I think one important part, right, is like how important human relationships are, right, to taking these tough decisions. So like, although Krista and Rachel have had, and this is a very big understatement, their differences, they're what's left. I mean, I guess Rachel could talk to Faith, but she's pointing the finger a lot and like, unleashing monsters. So she's not the best conversationalist. So I get wanting to kind of make those events with Krista.
Yeah, I think I understand that too. I do think also, you're right, indifferences is an understatement. There is one thing they shared, and that's a man. Ew. Yeah, I think you could move to extend that olive branch, though, I think, especially because, one, I think it'd be good for Faith to probably have another role model, because Faith is exhibiting a lot of those go-getter characteristics that both Rachel and Krista have, but Krista hasn't turned hers into violence quite yet. So, like, she's gotten close, but kind of on accident, and Rachel has, as we've seen, turned those into violence. So maybe we should set a new ceiling for Faith's ambitions. Krista might be a good person for that. But also, like, again, if your whole town's turning on you, we all know the rule: don't split the party, right? You gotta keep it together to get your survival rates as high as you can. So I'm pro the olive branch.
That's completely fair. And we'll talk about survival rates, I'm sure, at some point as well. But like, Rachel's hope is positive.
Shocker. Genuinely, bottom of my heart, shocked.
It's a big change. We should have talked about that more, to be honest. We were lost in other things, but like, because we're going to move on to Norway production, putting that up. But Rachel's hope being positive is such a major change to her character. She got back from the brink. Now, Norway, let's go with that, Layla.
Do you think her hope went positive after she decided she might get a divorce? Anyway, in Norway, Astrid and Rachel meet again in the other world, where Zane talks to them about their children. Astrid faces down hostile townspeople who demand that she give them Orson, and decides what to say to Detective Olivia Haugen about the future of their relationship. I know y'all heard that last big "I love you." Haugen is how do I put this? She works on me. She really does.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
And I'm very sorry that I wrote these incorrectly. That's on me. I should have put Olivia instead of Detective Haugen, because we are on a first name basis there. Very clearly. But no, like, I mean, Astrid's finally like kind of taking charge, like we had the mystery, we had the intrigue, we had the romance. And now we got the action, so to speak. But, I mean, she's not got the easiest relationship. I mean, I don't think Rachel exactly has a walk in the park with Faith. I guess she wasn't killed, unlike her ex-husband. They didn't get the papers in time. Whereas Astrid, like, she it's not quite sure what's going on with Orson. Like Orson hasn't been too antagonistic against Astrid. A little bit, but not too much.
Not against Astrid, no, but he's tried to stab both Britt and Haugen. But against Astrid, mostly made her read that very unsettling book. So maybe he was trying to do some psychological damage there, really branch out in his offerings. But
and by the way, Rainimer is like Orson bit Astrid. I'm like, come on, that doesn't count. Chompers it has no discrimination on who to bite. That's a.
He's like a terrible sticker from Spencer's Gifts. I don't discriminate. I hate everybody. If you know,
exactly.
You know.
So, yeah, it's like I can't really like I can't blame him. Can you blame a force of nature in that sense? Like he just wants to bite all the time.
No, he's an act of God. That's when Rachel writes those insurance policies, and there's that provision about acts of God. She's mostly talking about Orson. The news has spread worldwide of the child with teeth of steel. So really, what can you do? But
yeah. Somebody's like Orson's on a gastro journey. I hope it's more gastronomic than the storied up version of that. But yes.
Instead of eat, pray, love, it's eat, bite, love.
That's the one.
That's the one.
You cannot stop the chump. I'm liking these, by the way. The audience continue, please. But no, to be fair, we know that our show, the canon run, is ending soon. We haven't had Astrid's final fate yet. Mm-hmm. There's not much time left. I'm just going to put it that way. You, the audience, will have a chance to enact it. I don't think that's a spoiler here. What's going to be neat, though, is to see how that kind of pans out. Because we have Rachel's, right? And it makes sense, right? Rachel wasn't very much the ritual. And it's a lot of the Final Fate choices are very representative of the traumas that the characters live throughout their experiences. So how Astrid's is going to pan out is going to be interesting to see what essentially is the summary of her story, essentially what she represented, what was her key challenge. So, I'm looking forward to that. And again, I try not to spoil myself too much because I want to have as much fun as you at home sometimes.
I mean, that being said, what was Astrid's key challenge? Oh boy, is that family of hers. I think every member of her family at one point or another has been a challenge. But Eduardo, it is almost time for our show. Can you believe that?
Oh, yeah, I can. No, the thing is, our show is going to start very soon. We got about 1-2 minutes left. And how should I put it? We're just coming to the end. What else can I recap? We're seeing it all coming up to a head. If you're here, I know a lot of you have been here since the start, very near the start. You've been through the thick and thin of it all. You've seen the characters live and die. There's not much more to recap. Honestly, you got some scenes to enjoy, and all I want to do is to have you enjoy them. Now, you'll also enjoy our company. We'll be in the post show, and of course, on Wednesday, we'll be there. We will very much be there, trust me. But that said, we are a minute from our show. So, Layla, let's check out those scenes. Let's let our audience enjoy them. We'll see them right after. So, take care.